Yo, what's up guys, today I'll be showing you how I made my track party animal which I released 3 months back. So today I'll be showing you how I made the intro, the build up, the drop, how I get my vocals done and how I mixed it. So if you haven't heard the track party animal, this is how it sounds like. So that is how it sounds like. So moving on to the intro. So this is how the bass sounds like. So there's one main re-space and a sub re-space and a sub bass. So I've added a pitch bend to keep it more interesting and to keep the notes sliding. And the drums and the effects all together sound like this. Yeah, so that's how it sounds like, the drums and everything together. And also I have my vocal chops here. So all together it sounds like this. So moving on to the build up. So the build up has a lot of drum layers. So let me just play the drums first. So I'll play it with the synth stubs. So that's how the build up of the drums in the build up sound like. So over here what I've done is create tension in the track, so to give more of a feeling where the drop is about to hit to. So this is how the leads and the bass sound in the drop. Yeah, so I've added the vocal chops to speed up as it hits the second build up part or whatever you call it. Yeah, so that's together it sounds like this. So the build up already sounds like this. So also added these vocal chops which will be introduced later at the break. So moving on to the drop part. So this is how the drums and effects sound together. so that's about it for the drums. So in the drop, I really like to add ear candy, because ear candy actually gives more of a, it makes it more interesting in the track. So let me just play it for you. So all these effects and effects loops will be included in my Ignite sample pack, so be in watch for that. So moving on with the sub bass, and wait, this is the 808. Yeah, this is the 808. Moving on the sub bass and the main lead. So I added a pitch down and a pitch up effect just to keep it more interesting again, and also some reverb automations to fill the gap in between. Yeah, so that's about it. So for the drop main lead, I've used not much, but just a few. So I've used a synth shot and another bass shot and a bass from Spire, and also I usually work with the true pianos, but I switch it off in the mixer channel. So the processing of the lead sounds like this. So let me just off all the effects. Yes, so it sounds very weird and not much powerful, so I've added a fruity parametric EQ2 just to cut the EQ, just to have a high pass and a low pass filter, and sound dial and a limiter just to increase the volume because it was low, and an OTT just a little bit. I cut the low end, and fruity reverb to keep it interesting by creating reverb automations, and a stereo shaper. So same with these, I've just added a kickstart, that's it. I keep it like very simple and very minimal. And what do we have next? Okay, so the most interesting part that I find in Part Animal is the break and how the transition comes all together.
In the building, but without some rags. Feeling on the dance floor, what do that? I'm a party animal, yeah, lunatic. You ain't heard me, you best get used to it. Johnny Nelson in the building, but without some rags. Feeling on the dance floor, what do that? I'm a party animal, yeah, lunatic. You ain't heard me, you best get used to it. Johnny Nelson in the building, but without some rags. Feeling on the dance floor, what do that? I'm a party animal, yeah, lunatic. You ain't heard me, you best get used to it. Johnny Nelson in the building, but without some rags. Feeling on the dance floor, what do that? I'm a party animal, yeah, lunatic. You ain't heard me, you best get used to it.
Yeah, so it's just a break beat like hip hop. It gives a hip hop vibes. So the transition, so I've used is Jonas in Z Remix, a clock sound, and I panned it to left and right, and I reduced the volume gradually. So I've added a sub drop and a sweep up and a few impacts. That's about it. And also I've added this bass which is reversed. Yeah, so it gives tension to the break. So the breakbeat loop sounds like this. Yeah, so that's it. So the second variant of the build-up is a little bit different because I haven't used the vocal chops. Instead, I've used the whole vocal. So this is how it sounds like.
Johnny Nelson in the building, but without his rags. Standing on the dance floor, where they do that. I'm a party animal, yeah, lunatic. You ain't heard, then you best to get used to it. Johnny Nelson in the building, 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 Johnny Nelson, Johnny Nelson, Johnny Nelson, Johnny Nelson. You ain't heard, then you best to get used to it.
Yeah, so that's how it sounds like. So it has a little altar boy, and I pitched it down, and the format of mine is 0.6. So altogether it sounds like this.
Johnny Nelson in the building, but without his rags. Standing on the dance floor, where they do that. I'm a party animal, yeah, lunatic. You ain't heard, then you best to get used to it. Johnny Nelson in the building, 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 Johnny Nelson, Johnny Nelson, Johnny Nelson, Johnny Nelson. You ain't heard, then you best to get used to it.
And yeah, that's about it for how I made the track Party Animal. And so I showed you how I did everything, on how I made my intro, how I got my drums, how I got my build up done, and how I made the drop, some tips and tricks that I use in my tracks. So thank you for watching, and hope you learned something. And if you did enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe, like, and put a comment on what other video I can do. And till next time.